What's up YouTube, Edgar here bringing you an action figure review. Today we're looking at Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat 11 by a little company called McFarlane Toys. So we have a 7-inch scale Johnny Cage. He is part of the second assortment of the Mortal Kombat figures from McFarlane. And I gotta say, I really enjoy this line of figures. They're in the 7-inch scale, they have a lot of articulation, the paint is pretty good, and for their price, which you can find at like $19.99 retail, is pretty much a really good price for something like this. You have the Storm Collectibles figures that are Mortal Kombat. They've had the license for a few years now, and they are in the $70 range. So for something like this, with all this articulation, I think it's giving Storm Collectibles a run for their money. But enough about Storm Collectibles. Let's look at Johnny Cage here. You can already see he looks pretty epic. He's an action figure that comes with an action figure, and obviously the most notable thing is this awesome jacket with the decal here. Has that nice metallic effect, super 90s, and if you played through Mortal Kombat 11's campaign, you'd know why he's dressed like this. So obviously this is the young Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat 11, which is supposed to be the Johnny Cage from the original 90s games, from the old Nintendo systems and arcade and all that. And I'm really glad they went with this one. This one is way more interesting than the older Johnny Cage, because he just has military uniform on, and I feel like that's been done with figures so many times, but this is something that will definitely spark up your collection and your little Mortal Kombat shelf if you have one. So let's get into this review. Alright, here's Johnny Cage without his glasses. The likeness is really good. Definitely has that smug look. I love the expression here. The eyes are clean. Eyebrows are clean. Everything is looking pretty good. Nothing sloppy here. This jacket is just really cool. I'm not even a Johnny Cage main or fan or anything like that, but I think it's the jacket that really sold me to get this figure. The nice belt buckle there. These shin guards are really cool. These sneakers are looking pretty sweet. Just hand wraps. A little bit of blood stain on there. Very faint. His jacket is actually a very soft material. Softer than what I'm used to in action figures. For NECA and even McFarlane in the past, these softer plastics or capes that you'll find on figures are usually pretty thick. But this is... it's hard to translate, but it's pretty thin. You can see the joint under there. It's a nice ball joint. We'll get into that later. And the Johnny tattoos, nice and clean. I like that it's not a deep black, because that's not the way tattoos are when they heal. You can compare it to my tattoo here. You can see it's almost like a grayish blue, and that's what they translated here, which is really good. The sculpt is very nice for the body here. I see a little paint chipping going on here. I wonder if that's something I can just rub off later, dust off. But yeah, the body sculpt is great. I love the sculpt, the physique. I'm sure he has a whole back that's also sculpted all in there. And his pants have a nice texture to it. It's not just a flat black sculpt. I don't know if the camera's picking it up here. But yeah, there definitely is a texture on his pants. It's not just a smooth sculpt. So, very cool. The hair looks like it's a separate piece here. There is a seam. When really zooming in close, you'll notice it, but when the figure's in hand, it's not that noticeable, especially when he has his sunglasses on. I really like the decal here. It's even sculpted. The back decal is also very cool. And even the jacket has a texture. It's not just a flat thing either. It has like these little horizontal rivets all across. And even though these are different plastics, they're painted exactly the same, so the consistency is awesome. Okay, for the articulation, we have a lot here. He has a ball joint at the top of the head, then a ball joint at the bottom of the neck, which is really nice. You get a lot of natural motion there. And here, we have a ball joint in the shoulder, so that gets to move around nicely. If I can show that off. See that? Very nice. And then inside that ball joint, we have regular motion, which you go up, down, and then fully rotate forward and back. And all these joints have a click to it, so he can hold his poses pretty well. Then we have a cut joint at the upper bicep there. Double jointed elbow, which is very nice. We can rotate at the wrist fully, as well as move back and forward. Depending on the angle, you can obviously get different motions out of that. We have a ball joint at the upper abdomen, then a ball joint at the waist, which is also nice. So you get a lot of motion here, which means that we could also rotate at the base of the waist. Legs can go out, in, forward, back about this much because his bottom there, his tush, doesn't allow it to go back all the way. Surprisingly, no joint up here at the thigh, so you can't rotate the leg, which is interesting. Double jointed knee, very nice. Ankles can move up and down, as well as rotate, and we can also angle it too. So a lot of good articulation here. Perfect for a fighting figure. I love it. Alright, accessory time. We have his very cool glasses here. They have a nice shine finish to it, so it has that obviously realistic reflective look, which is nice. The purple is nice as well. It also has a gloss. And they look pretty good on his face, considering that they're removable. Now, they could have easily made these glasses sculpted on his face, which is what we see a lot of figure companies do, or they'll include an alternate head with the glasses on. But I think it actually works in favor of this figure. The one head sculpt keeps costs down, and the glasses add for another cool way to display the figure. Next we have this very cool Academy Awards looking strongman award. It says Excellence Award Best Actor. And the gold on this is really nice. This is such a cool addition to this figure. He could have easily have gone without and still been a very cool figure, but this is super cool accessories. This is used in his Fatal Blow, where he just hits his opponent with it super hard. The next one is even cooler. How much cooler can we get? A Johnny Cage action figure that we see from his victory screen, his victory pose. And this is surprisingly very detailed, and it's very small. It does not move, it's one single piece, but they definitely made it look like an action figure with the joints here. He has a little Johnny tattoo on his chest, which is very clear. And you can obviously see the expression on him. This is just a win. This figure is just awesome. And the last accessory here is the Mortal Kombat base. Black, simple, just says Mortal Kombat on it. It'd be cool if McFarlane started to sell these on their own, because it works well with other 7-inch scale figures too. So when we put the glasses on, I don't know if you can see, but right above the ear, there's a slight little opening there for a peg. And that's how the glasses go on and stay on. Boom, there you have it. For being very small, they look pretty good. Don't look too oversized. But what's nice is that we get to see his eye in there, which is something we wouldn't have been able to see if they were sculpted on. Alright, here's a little size comparison time. We can see that Johnny Cage is a little taller than Sub-Zero, and I'm not sure if this is accurate or not. I'm assuming they're all about the same height in the game, but definitely something is off here. Looks like Johnny Cage's waist is a little higher than Sub-Zero's. His knees are a little higher. It's like everything has like this little tilt to it when trying to match the shoulders. Look where the shoulders line up, I mean. So that is a little weird that Johnny Cage is that much bigger. I think Sub-Zero's a pretty big guy. But, like I said, I'm not sure if this is accurate. or not. I don't know how tall Johnny Cage is off the top of my head. It's probably worth the Google if anyone knows in the comments, but yeah. I'm sure when they're fighting each other and actually pose and not just standing next to each other museum style, it's not going to be that noticeable. But either way, they both look very cool. Now, Sub-Zero may look a little different and have a different feel because I totally repainted his eyes and weathered him up, and this is a custom Sub-Zero, but the base of the figure is the same. The sculpt doesn't really change. Okay, so more comparisons here. We have Johnny Cage, once again, towering over the 7-inch scale Bloodshot from McFarlane and the 7-inch scale Terminator from NECA. He's definitely bigger than these guys, and I found out in between takes, Johnny Cage is, drumroll, 6 feet. Vin Diesel is 6 feet in real life. Not that that has to say how tall Bloodshot is. And Arnold is 6'2". So even though they are in the 7-inch scale, definitely Johnny Cage shouldn't be this tall. And Sub-Zero is also 6'2", so he should have some height on Johnny Cage. Now that's just me being super nitpicky. Obviously, it's just an action figure, guys. But I'm just giving you guys the facts. Either way, I really do like it. His scale doesn't bother me. Plus, they're all going to be posed in a cool way, so what does it really matter? Okay, so overall, Johnny Cage is a really cool figure. For its price tag, you can't really beat it. He has amazing articulation, he's big in scale, he has a really clean paint job, and he has a really unique paint job as well. And the accessories are just way too cool, the removable glasses, and if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, a Johnny Cage fan, or if you just have the other figures of Mortal Kombat, I think he's a must-have because so easily we get so many ninjas, obviously Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and then they kind of like rehash the same sculpts to get different variants. So finally, we get something cool that's different. We get Johnny Cage, and the other figure that he was released with was Raiden, and I didn't really pick him up. He was cool. I'm not sure if I will. Honestly, I'm running out of space, but that's a topic for another time. But so far, right now, I just have Sub-Zero and him, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm not sure if Goro back here likes Johnny Cage as much as we do, but definitely super happy with this purchase. So until next time, you guys take care, play some Mortal Kombat, and I will see you guys later.